Hey guys, Azerlin here with an early access review of Pit People. Pit People is a strategy adventure game with turn-based combat. It's developed by the Behemoth, which also made BattleBlock Theater and Castle Crashers. Pit People is a totally different genre of game than their previous games, but the character style and sense of humor is consistent in Pit People as well. The story starts off with you taking control of a father trying to fend off invaders and protect your son. There isn't much of the main story available yet in early access, but there are a lot of side missions available. You create a team with up to 6 characters on it and battle against the enemies in turn-based combat until one team is defeated or your objective is completed. I've been playing mostly on normal difficulty. I always heal to full health before each encounter, and so far I haven't found the fights too challenging. I tried one mission on insane difficulty, and if it wasn't for my characters leveling up mid-combat, I would have for sure died with only one healer. You can bring more than one of the same character type at a time, but the cupcakes don't heal other cupcakes. If all of your characters die, you lose some gold and maybe some items, but there is no permadeath, so the game is very forgiving in that sense. During your turn, you lock in all of your moves at once before ending the turn. You are given plenty of time to lock in your moves. If you make a mistake with the move, you can always change it before you end your turn. The combat has some random factors like dodging, crits, and most notably which target you actually hit. You have control over your team's movement, but you have no say as to which target you will actually attack. For example, if you place a character in a hex that's adjacent to multiple targets, your character can attack any of the available targets, and it's not necessarily the target that you want. There is friendly fire with AE abilities, and you can accidentally heal enemies as well. I'm not a fan of the randomness, but it's nowhere near as annoying as missing shots in XCOM that had 99% accuracy. In Pit People, you just need to be prepared and position your team accordingly. You journey out from town to explore or complete missions by driving around the map in a nitro-boosted wagon that poops. There are enemies everywhere, but it's nice that you can easily avoid combat by stunning them and running past them if you want to. It's a lot better than having to flee combat, since fleeing makes all of your characters take damage and drops your items onto the ground. Driving around and seeing the different areas and creatures with their crazy costumes is interesting, but I could really do without the clouds everywhere blocking my vision. My biggest complaint about the game is the lack of a full-sized map that shows you all of the areas you've explored. You can only have 2 active quests at a time, so it would be really nice to have a large map marking the points of interest you've seen but not yet completed. I really hope that they add this in the future. You can play by yourself against the AI or in 2-player co-op both online or locally. There is text and voice chat in co-op so you can coordinate easier. Both you and your ally take your turns at the same time, and there's a lot more enemies to compensate for there being a second player. There's also an arena where you can battle against other players in 2 versus 2 battles, or complete for scores on the leaderboard against the AI. In almost every battle, you have the option to recruit the last remaining enemy by capturing them with a net and cage. I think it's awesome that you can capture almost any enemy you come across, and that it never fails to capture. It's also neat that you get to keep all the equipment that they were wearing when you recruit them. Sometimes I wish I could capture more than one enemy per battle though. There are different species of characters that have special abilities, and other species that can be equipped with gear. There are no skill points to allocate, but the equipment lets you customize each character. There are tons of collectibles to find. Some of these items are purely cosmetic, while others have various combat stats. You can also trade items with other players, which is great for those who love collecting everything. The environments are all designed with hexes. The grids look decent, and I like the unique and colorful areas, but sometimes it can be hard to tell which hexes you can't walk on. I love the animations, and the character customizations are fantastic. As for the audio, I absolutely adore the voice acting for the narrative. Will Stamper, the same narrator that did BattleBlock Theater, is awesome. The soundtrack is good as well, but it won't appeal to everyone. The goofy made-up language with voice acting is done well, and it's rather entertaining at times. Most of the sound effects are good, except for the aggro sound effect. When you're running through enemies avoiding combat, the aggro sound is quite irritating, and I think that they should lower the radius that prompts the sound. The key bindings are fully customizable, and there is full controller support. I've played for about 10 hours so far, both solo and in the online co-op, and I didn't even come close to putting a dent into getting all the collectibles. If you're hoping for story, there isn't much in the way of a story campaign yet, but there are still plenty of quests to do. Playing against the AI as single player is fun, but it does feel repetitive after a while. The co-op is enjoyable, but I wasn't able to try the PvP since I got impatient waiting for it to pop. Overall, it's a nicely polished turn-based strategy game that's not too punishing. It has an abundance of collectibles and the same style and sense of humor that you would expect from a Behemoth title. I have no regrets with this purchase, and I look forward to more of the story being added. If you want to check out some gameplay, I'll post a link in the description below. I hope this early access review has helped you. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and post your feedback in the comments below. Thanks everyone, and have a wonderful day.